ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2015 annual Spaghetti Dinner and Silent Auction for Senate District 63. I would actually like to start with a moment of silence for one of our longtime activists who just recently passed away. Dominic Carter died at a much too young 56 years old just about a week ago. So if we just have a moment for him. All right, thanks very much. All right, first I want to thank all the volunteers who are helping with this event. There's a lot of people back there in the kitchen and who got the food set up and the auction set up and the room set up. And I haven't had to see to every detail myself, which is really nice when you're the chair. So can I have a round of applause for all the people up at this event? And if you're applauding for yourself, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so last year we had a campaign. We mostly won. DFL took all the statewide offices, and there are a lot of people, including a lot of people in this room, who spent a lot of time on phone banks, who spent a lot of time knocking doors, helping our local candidates and our statewide candidates, even traveling to other districts to help out. So a round of applause for yourselves, because that's basically you folks. In fact, the campaign office got so crowded last year they ended up having to split into 2 locations because they couldn't squeeze everybody into the offices. That's really actually a kind of good problem to have. All right, we have a silent auction. John, Felicity, did you want to say something about our silent auction?
Okay, it's just not a pretty sight to make me run.
Well, it was deliberate, I assure you.
Okay, things are heating up back there. A couple of things I wanted to mention. We have, in years past, it has been an item of much discussion and now notoriety, the Franny Franken pie. Well, this not being an election year, we didn't get quite the donation we had before, so this year we have the Franny Franken do-it-yourself apple pie. We've got the recipe. The recipe's not out there, you can't copy it down, so you're going to have to win the bid. The other item that I really wanted to mention, we have a handmade walking stick that a neighbor of Carol Becker's made in his spare time as a retiree. He decided that not sitting around was just not going to work for him, so he became a wood carver, and this thing is gorgeous. Take a look at it. Okay, thanks. I don't want to waste your time when you should be bidding.
Yes. Yes, anything other than bidding is a waste of time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so stop talking to your neighbor there. Okay. All right, so something new we're doing this year. We have what we're calling issue teams. It's a new thing. When I say new, I don't mean new for us. I mean new for like anywhere. We're inventing this thing so far as we know. It's a bit of a takeoff on the neighborhood teams that the campaigns have had last couple of election cycles. That was where there were teams of volunteers that basically ran their own show. We want to do the same thing, except instead of working specifically for a candidate, our issue teams will work on issues. They will pick an issue that they want to work on. They'll work on it the way they want to work on it. If they want to do phone banks, if they want to have the SD63 table to use for their stuff at neighborhood events like we always do, if they want to have a forum, that's up to the team, directed by the team. They get to use SD63's resources. They get to have SD63 officers for advice if they want it, but we're not telling them what to do. So it's very much volunteer, self-directed. And we've got several of these things, and I'd like to point out to you some of our team leaders who are around in case there's something that interests you. Go talk to those folks, and I'm going to let a couple take a moment to explain what they want to do. Mike, as long as you by coincidence are standing there, would you like to take a moment and explain what your team is?
Well, my idea was to, I thought I had this great idea to celebrate, for the Democrats to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Juneteenth and the ratification of the 13th Amendment vote, which happened in 1865. If you recall, we were sort of on the wrong side of that issue 150 years ago, but we're on the right side now. Anyway, that was my idea. It turns out there's already an organization. I'm new to Minneapolis. It turns out there's an organization that does this every year. So I'd still like to lock in with them and maybe have a booth at their at the Juneteenth Minnesota organization, that I'll have a booth there. or have some sort of event where we celebrate the ratification of the 13th Amendment. So anyways, that's my idea. My name is Michael Galmani, and if you'd like to get together with me, just come say hello.
Okay, and what a bizarre coincidence that you're standing right there. It was as if we planned it. All right, why don't you explain your team?
Well, I'm Ann Jones, and Ann Friedrich and I and SD63 are taking up Eric's challenge. His thought was that since we don't have an election to work on this year, we can use it to good effect. And our thought, and we're Ann squared in Senate District 63, was that we could use a book club idea to educate ourselves, to do a better job of articulating ideas, policies, values, progressive policies and values. Conservatives seem to have mastered the ability to present their position in sound bites that fit on a bumper sticker, and then they start masquerading as fact. And we need to counter that with some aggressive, let's say, values, ability to articulate. Anyway, we thought we would do something like a book club. We were going to suggest a one read. We're going to build a reading list. We're probably going to pick a time to meet, but you could participate even if you didn't want to come to meetings just by participating in the book club one read or work on the reading list. So we're going to meet again at our next SD meeting, which is actually Monday, 5:30 at Sibley Park, if anybody wants to join us. Otherwise, you could probably look at the SD63 website, and we'll put up a reading list, and then we're going to start with, our first book is going to be Don't Think of an Elephant by George Lakoff, because he's been working hard with progressives on getting better at presenting our positions. So, contact me this evening or show up at our SD63 meeting on Monday at Sibley Park, or pay attention to the website.
Just to clarify, 5:30 is when you're having a team meeting, correct? Okay, 5:30 is a team meeting. Our monthly central committee meeting is as always at 6:30. All right, at Sibley Park. Okay, we have a tech team, and that's being headed up by John Murray. These guys, hand up there. So wave again, John. All right, what they're working on is the way we use technology, like the way we use social media, the way we use our website, and so on. And they're revisiting all that, seeing what we can do better. So have a talk with John if that's something that interests you. And actually, I have the pleasure of announcing a whole new team. This was a brand new one starting today. Working in education. Alex, oh, there you are. Alex, yes, explain what you're doing.
Thank you. I'm Alex Hazelton. I'm a teacher in Minneapolis Public Schools. Thank you. I wanted to start this issue team on education because education, we obviously know, is really important to our students and families, but it's the health of our city, and we have a lot of people that care about it, and I think we just need to get together and we need to narrow down on a few issues and get more people involved and have their voices heard. So when it comes to standing up for public education and having strong schools, I invite you to go back to the table over there. There's a white foam board. I have terrible handwriting, so I had it printed off in marker, so I'm a social studies teacher. We're not known for good handwriting. But go back there and put your name down and the phone number or contact information if you want to get together. We want to get together in the next week and a half. And I really want to emphasize that this issue team is meant to collect voices and inform our legislators, inform our school board members, and inform our neighbors. So that way we have stronger school board members and we have votes that are right on education wherever they need to be. And we can't do it without you, and I can't do it by myself. So thank you very much for the time, and please ask me questions. I'll be back over at the table with the education issues poster. Thank you very much.
Okay. And we have a team that is working on home solar, being headed up by Mike Kramer and Tim Bonham. Mike and Tim, would you raise your hand so everybody knows who to talk to? Don't talk to me. We'll figure out how to announce it. Like I said, you can come to a meeting, you can use our Facebook group, our Yahoo group, and we'll talk about how to get started. I'll offer you so much advice as you want, let you do things your own way as you want. Okay, So we have some people who are a lot more interesting to hear from than me, some of our elected officials. So I think I'm going to let you hear from them for a little bit. Lori Swanson, our State Attorney General, is there. Oh, I just cut off a conversation. Sorry about that, but too late.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm not going to give a long speech or anything. I've just wanted to come out and say hi and thank you all for what you do. I've been to this dinner many times, and I'm always so impressed with both the turnout and how many people are here, and just the activism and the community participation. You guys do such an important job, not just in between elections, but at election time as well, knocking on doors, and that does a lot for statewide candidates like myself. I want to thank you for letting me represent you as Attorney General. In our office, our mission is to pursue justice and make a positive difference in people's lives, and that happens in many ways, in many different shapes and forms. But I want to thank you for giving me the honor of representing all the folks who don't have their own lawyers and their own lobbyists, and people who are really up against it. And we've seen no end to some of the corporate shenanigans and taking advantage of other people. For example, with these for-profit colleges, I've got 2 cases in court right now, another one we fairly recently settled, a number of investigations where these colleges are enrolling people in degrees that cost maybe 6 times more than a community college, and when they graduate, they can't find employment because the paper that they are selling doesn't have value. And those are the kind of things that you allow me to do, and I would just want to thank you for putting me in a position to do that and for everything you do. Appreciate you guys so much. Have a great dinner. Enjoy yourselves tonight. Appreciate you very much. How's that? I surprised you, didn't I?
Oh, what kind of politician are you going short? Come on. All right, I would like to introduce, well, who's not serving spaghetti right now? Rebecca, all right. Rebecca Otto, our state auditor, everybody. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. They don't care about my hair, do they? What I wanted to do tonight was just to simply thank all of you for everything that you did for my campaign. To first of all make sure that we won by 81% in that primary. Yep. And that was all of you. And we were a great, mighty team together. And then we got our highest margin in the state auditor's race. This is my 3rd term, and you helped me get the highest margin we've gotten yet statewide. And so we can be extraordinarily proud because this is the least understood office, but an extraordinarily important office. And the Republicans typically have held this office for its history. So I'm the only Democrat to be elected to a 3rd term, and I'm the only woman Democrat to be elected to this office. And it's thanks to you. So thank you. And I look forward to working with all of you on important issues. And I kind of want to take back the House in 2016, right? So, and we're going to have fun while we do it, but we've got to start working soon. And it'll be door knocking, helping, recruit candidates in some of those more difficult areas. And so we have work to do, and I look forward to working with you. So thank you again for everything you do, and I'll see you around and we'll have some fun. Thanks.
All right, well, I'm just going to maybe drag somebody away from the spaghetti line. One of our local school board members, Nelson. Break off the conversation, and you got your couple minutes here.
All right, thank you very much. I just wanted to say thanks to everyone for helping get me elected this past summer and fall. Especially thanks to Eric. I don't know how much you people know about how great a chair of SD63 Eric Ferguson is, but I think everyone should give him a round of applause. It was very inspiring to be working all last summer and fall on the election. I'm so proud to be a Democrat. It feels so good to be embraced by everybody that was working to help me get elected, and I've been working hard with Siad Ali now, also newly elected, to bring our values to the school board. And he and I and everyone else, Rebecca Gagnon is also here, who was elected this past year, and I just want to say thanks to everyone for working so hard for us, and we won't let you down, all right?
Thank you for the compliment. You'll get your payment later. All right. Andrew Johnson, you're still there. There he is. I heard you had a cold, so I'm going to make you talk for a long time. I wouldn't do that.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks, everyone. Hi, I'm Andrew Johnson, City Council member for Ward 12. And I just wanted to say thank you all for the great 2014 that we had down at City Hall. I couldn't believe how much we got done collectively as a group. You know, coming in as one of 7 new council members, and then we have a new mayor as well. A lot of people said, whoa, what are they going to do? And I think hopefully you've liked what you've seen in the first year. We managed to get quite a great deal done. Things from Southwest Light Rail was passed, municipal consent for that. We have now curbside composting rolling out this year. We have a new open data policy and have really raised the level of transparency to an all-time high. We've had a series of environmental initiatives, and now we're coming into 2015, and we're talking about a lot of important things, including one you probably read in the paper. I think a lot of folks are interested in how minimum wage in some way might be increased both in our city and in our state. And really excited to work with our legislative partners as well on these important issues. So thank you very much. I don't know if anybody has any quick questions about anything going on at City Hall. I always like to open it up. Anybody? Anybody? I also just want to say too, we've made a lot of strides in terms of equity in our city. We got a lot of things in the works right now, and we're really optimistic. It's just a really incredible time with so many things going on and so much development and building, and it's going to be a good year. So thank you.
Okay, so I'm back one more time. I neglected to tell you that there's the famous person in my family is sitting over there, Sean Otto. And Sean donated 2 books tonight to the silent auction. And Fool Me Twice, Fighting the Assault on Science in America, and he donated his new novel, Sins of Our Fathers. If you like a thriller set on the Iron Range and on a reservation, and it's all around banking. Well, banking sounds boring, but it's a really awesome book, and he's gotten great rave reviews. They're both over there on the silent auction table, and if we're still here, he can personalize it to you. Okay? Thank you.
All right, I'd like to introduce another member of our local school board, Seattle Lee.
Thank you, my dear friends. I'm very delighted to be with you here and have this beautiful and delicious spaghetti. And I'm also very happy to serve for you in Minneapolis School Board. And the reason I ran for Minneapolis School Board was to help our students succeed academically. And I do believe we are in the right direction now. And I'm also very happy to have colleagues. I see that Rebecca Gagnon is here and Nelson. These are great people to work with, and our aim is to help our students. As you know, the graduation rate went up a little bit, but I think we have a lot of work to do. And I do believe in Minneapolis public schools we can do better. We have all the necessary tools to help our students succeed. What we need is to come together and help our students. There's a lot of talented people in our city, a lot of expertise we have, and certainly if we come together we can make sure that we can help our students and we make our district one of the best in the nation. That's the target. Thank you very much. And please help us so that we can help the students. And one of the best ways you can help us is that to share your concerns with us. And you know, we are open to new ideas. I'm open to new ideas. And that's the way we can succeed and make the difference. Thank you very much. May God bless you all. I love you all. And I'm grateful for you. Yeah? Bye-bye.
And the Minneapolis Park Board member Stephanie Musich is there, and we have another Minneapolis Park Board member Scott Freeland right over there. I'm checking my list. School Board member Rebecca Gagnon, I see her back there. Yep. Minneapolis City Council member John Quincy, I know he's there. He is. Okay. And our Hennepin County Commissioner Peter McLaughlin. Peter, were you wanting a couple minutes to say anything? All right. Hennepin County Commissioner Peter McLaughlin, who just suddenly got corralled into talking. He wasn't planning on it.
So thank you all very, very much. I've got Casey finding a place to sit and our buddy Cecil, so they're excited about the spaghetti. I'm proud to be serving you on the county board again. I was with Siad Ali just yesterday when we celebrated the opening of the new weightlifting facilities at South High School that Hennepin County contributed to. We're going to do another batch at Roosevelt so that there can be conditioning not only for the students, all the athletes, but all the students and community people as well. And so we're investing in those kinds of opportunities for people with the sales tax that comes from the ballpark. I just came back from Washington. I got to tell you, it's like a star chamber down there. I mean, last night the Republicans finally agreed for a one-week extension on the Homeland Security system because they want to fight the president on immigration. I mean, it is craziness, and it's going to be important. And this district, with your leadership and the participation of all of you here, has always been strong. We've turned out big votes each and every time for president. It's one of the reasons why we swept the statewide offices this year, and this district needs to keep doing that. We've got Mark Dayton as our governor because in part this district turns out the vote. And so I'm proud to represent this district as one of my many districts. We need to move forward because in my experience in Washington, they're talking this game, but they're not really they're not moving the ball. And frankly, if you listen to the Minnesota House Republicans, they're not doing much either. And we've got great leadership coming from our governor, great leadership coming from our Senate, and we just need to keep pushing forward. We've got a state here that's prospering. We have a state that's prospering, and it's because we invest. And we need to continue to invest, whether it's in higher education or whether it's in early childhood. And there's a big fight going on about early childhood right now, and we need to make sure that we are investing in early childhood so that every child's got a chance to succeed in school. So I'm proud to represent you on the county board, proud to be here at this event, which is always a big event, and so I thank you all very much.
Okay, I'd like to acknowledge a couple of our DFL party officials who are here tonight. State Vice Chair Marge Hoffa over there. And I saw the new chair of Congressional District 5. Oh, there he is. That's Alexis Penny back there. It's not an auction announcement. The closing times are staggered. Not everything's closing at the same time. So some items are going to be closing in 15 minutes at 6 o'clock now. So some items will be closing at 6. Or I can let Felicity explain it. I'll let Felicity explain it.
All right, as Eric said, we have 15. We're doing things a little bit differently tonight so that maybe we won't have quite the crush at the sign-out table. At 6:15, meals, lunches, breakfast with elected officials will be closing, gift certificates, and there's one other thing that I cannot remember. Gift cards and the lunches, I know that for sure. At 6:45, the rest of the auction will close down. And I'm telling you, the bidding war on the bacon is getting ugly. So if you're interested in it, move on in there. Also, we got an influx of some new items, flashcards and children's books and children's videos. So take a look.
Oh, and I'd also like to mention that our SD63 Vice Chair, whose name is Bradley, has just been elected as the new Vice Chair of CD5. Right back there. And now, we're going to conclude the speeches. My wife knew the cue and celebrated there. I'd like to introduce our state legislators from SD63. That'll be Representatives Gene McGuinness and Jim Dabney, and State Senator Patricia Torres-Ray. I think they're all still in the room. I see two of them. There's Jim. All right. So apparently it's going to be a chorus event here.
Yay! Good evening, everyone. Thank you. You know, Commissioner McLaughlin talked about the strong turnout from Senate District 63. Let me just give you a clue on that. And this is about you. This is about you, not me. But I won re-election with the largest number of votes of any legislative candidate in the state of Minnesota last fall. That's your work. That's your sense of commitment and civic duty, and that's your work getting our neighbors out to the polls, engaged and ready to vote for the DFL. So thank you for that. Gene, have you gotten a thank you note from the Republicans yet for the $1.9 billion debt or surplus we left them?
Yeah. Well, it's not a thank you note. They're taking credit for it. So why would they give me a thank you note? Do you think?
I don't know. I haven't gotten anything from them.
How about you?
No, of course not. Of course not. If you don't get one, imagine us. We're the minority.
Things are really quiet at the legislature right now, but let me tell you, bubbling underneath the surface, there's a lot going on, none of it good. So, do you want to talk about some of the none of it good going on? Sure. Do you want me to?
No, you can start. You've got the microphone.
Well, I sit on a committee where they, for the bill to fix the minimum wage, so it's not so good for waitresses. Terrible bill. 3 or 4 bills to roll back all the work we've done on solar. There are bills to roll back the work we've done on water. But it's all pretty quiet because, by and large, the press does not go to committee hearings. There's just not enough of them. But these things are starting to come up into Ways and Means tomorrow, Monday. And I think you're going to start seeing some of the things like House File 2, which gives me, that's the one that last in, first out for teachers. But the way they've written it, it gives me a clue that they're not planning on spending very much money for education because there's no reason to rush this bill. What do you think, Jim?
Well, Gene, what I can tell you, since I sit on the 2 education committees, when House File 2, which does a whole bunch of different things, mostly bad, came through, we said, wait a second. This is going to cost money for the state. You need to find out how much money that is. And they said, oh, no. We're going to go and vote on it first and then find out how much it costs. Yeah, right. And then they found out how much it costs. And they said, oh, even we can't do that. So I share your concern. I also share the concern that, particularly with House File 2, what the Republicans are trying to do and turn it instead into an industry where we're pitted against each other in the best interests of my pocketbook, but not necessarily the kids in my classroom, and certainly not the kids in your classroom. And they just don't have a vision of education being about opportunity for all kids.
Well, I think they have a vision, but it's educational and cheap. What do you think?
Well, in the Senate, we're going to try to stop all of that. That's what we're going to do in the Senate. So I am excited that we have the majority, and I'm excited that we're talking about 2 very important things in the Senate. And we are very much in agreement with the governor. I serve in the K-12 committee, And I also serve in the higher ed committee, both finance and policy. So the governor is saying we're going to invest in young kids. I'm 100% in there. He just announced after the second budget announcement that he's going to increase that investment in pre-K. We're 100% on board with that. We're going to fight for that. And we are 100% on his message around transportation. We have Scott Dibble is the chair of our transportation committee. Our target is even higher than the governor. He is traveling throughout the state, where some of us are traveling with him to certain areas, and we're very excited to hear that this is really a statewide bipartisan effort. However, you need to know that the Chamber of Commerce is opposing that bill and opposing that effort. So we really need to talk to our business, and now this is the irony. The statewide chamber is opposed, and all of the local chambers are for it. So they represent small business at the local level, and they are with us. So we need to make sure that you talk to small businesses in our community so that they can be more active. And finally, I just wanted to let you know that I am chairing state and local government right now. I am incredibly excited. So I get to be the first committee that will submit the name for confirmation of Adam Dunnick. Adam Dunnick will be the chair of the, as all of you know, that we have some controversial issues for the Metropolitan Council, and he's the chair. And I don't know if you knew this, but he lives in our community, and he's done an outstanding job of really framing this issue around development, housing, transportation, that really incorporates the voices of diverse communities, low-income neighborhoods into the picture, and we really need him in charge of the council. He is, I hope he comes here and he's able to say a few words. So I'm kind of excited in the Senate. Let's go.
Just to come off of Senator Torres Rey's post, somewhere here I just want to point out is our Minneapolis' newest Metropolitan Council member, but I've lost her. Is she hiding somewhere? Kara Latofsky is running out the door as she's being introduced. Step back out, newest Metropolitan Council, my favorite, my personal favorite Metropolitan Council member, actually.
You can say our favorite.
Oh, really? I didn't want to speak for you.
Since there's not enough press to cover all of our committees, and I do a lot on the environment and energy, I started a blog. Please let me share it with you. It's blog.jeanwagenius.org. We are as soon as we figure out how to do it, we're opening it up for comments, and we'd love to have you comment. I also want to let you know that I changed my email. Our other email was hacked, and so it's now repjeanwagenius@gmail.com. gmail.com. So just to let you know, we had to shift gears here a bit.
Thank you. I don't know if we have time for questions. We would love to hear from you. Please, comments or questions, any comments that you would like to share with us. We would like to hear from you. We're going to need a lot of your help and support, blogging, really delivering a message on behalf of our democratic values, platforms, families. That's going to be key for us during the next few years. First deadline for introduction of legislation is March 20th, so it's coming up, and we really need to move forward with these ideas. If not, we're just going to have fun with you. Thank you. Thank you for being here today.